Good morning, guys. It's Mrs. Blaylock from Golson, first grade. I am doing our iReady math packet today, and we are going to be working on lesson 4, which is making a 10 to add. So we're going to go to my computer screen, and then we're going to do a little bit of talking about it, and we'll go to the lesson. Okay? All right. First off, I want to start off by saying that a lot of people ask the question, why do I need to know how to make a 10 to add? And what I respond with is, which would you rather add? Would you rather add 8 plus 4 or 10 plus 2? And most of the time people say, oh, well, I want to add 10 plus 2 because that's easy. And I would say, exactly, because I refer to 10 plus facts as being an easier way to add. For example, we know that 10 plus 1 is 11, 10 plus 2 is 12, 10 plus 3 is 13, and you continue on to 10 plus 9 is 19. And that goes the same way with 20 plus 1 is 21, 20 plus 2 is 22. I call those easier 10 plus facts. So it's a lot easier to add a 10 plus fact than it would be to add 9 plus 6 or 7 plus 5. Okay? But in order to do the make a 10 strategy, you have to know your friends to 10. So that means that 0 needs a 10 to get to 10. 1 needs a 9, and 9 always is going to need a 1. 2 is always going to need an 8, and 8 is always going to need a 2. 3 is always going to need a 7, and 7 is always going to need a 3. 4 is always going to need a 6, and 6 is always going to need a 4. And 5 will always need 5. Okay, so those are your equations to make a 10. And also, to be able to use the make a 10 strategy, you have to be able to decompose a number bond or a number. Now, decompose means breaking apart a whole number into two separate parts. For example, if I was given the number 4, my parts could be either 0 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 2, or 3 and 1, and 4 and 0. Those are all the different combinations of ways to make the number 4 and to break it apart in two different parts. Okay, so in order to use that make a 10 strategy, it's important for you to be able to know your friends to 10 and for you to be able to break apart and decompose. Otherwise, this strategy is not going to be a good strategy for you. Okay, so on the first page in your math packet for lesson 4 is going to be found on number 9. Okay, and it has the equation 9 plus 3. Now, they show you how to break apart and decompose that 3 to a 1 and a 2 because they know that 9 needs 1 to get to 10, and then 10 plus my 2 is going to be 12. For example, they know that 10 plus 2 is 12, so then 9 plus 3 is equal to 12. Okay, so look at number 2. Number 2 says 9 plus 5, and they want you to break apart and decompose and think, what does 9 need to get to 10? Well, 9 needs 1 more. So I would break my 5 up to a 1 and then a 4. And 9 plus 1 is 10, and 10 plus 4 is 14. So that means 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay? Here you have 8 plus 4. So you want to think about, what does that 4 need? Or I'm sorry, what does that 8 need to get to 10? So if I have 8 fingers up, 8 needs 2 more to get to 10. So I would break apart or decompose my 4 to a 2 and a 2, which would be the same equation as 10 plus 2. Therefore, 8 plus 4 equals And here you've got 8 plus 6. And they're wanting you to think, what does my 8 need to get to 10? My 8 needs 2 more. So you're going to break apart and decompose your 6 to a 2 and your other part. And then you're going to fill in your equations. The same strategy consists on the next page, except you are wanting to find out what's your friend to 10 for 7. Your equation is 7 plus 5, and you have to think, what does 7 need to get to 10? And 7 needs 3. So you're going to break apart and decompose your 5 to a 3 and your other part, and then add your equations. Again, with 7 plus 6 and 7 plus 4. Now, I do want to show you working out some of these problems or some different problems up on my back door just so you can get a fuller effect of the strategy. Okay? For example, if I was given the equation of 9 plus 7 equals, I would think in my mind, what does my 9 need to get to 10? And my 9 needs 1. So if I break apart my 7, I can decompose it to a 1 and a 6 because I know that 1 and 6 make 7. And then I would circle my 9 and my 1 because I know that makes 10. And then I still have to add my 6. And I know 10 plus 6 is easy peasy. 10 plus 6 is 16. So that means the same as 9 plus 7 is 16. Now, your child could also write the equation 10 plus 6 equals 9 plus 7 because both facts make 16 and 16 is equal to 16. Okay? All right? You can hear my puppy whining in the background because she wants to be up here on the porch with me. Okay, so let's do another problem. Let's do 8 plus 9. Now, another strategy that you could use with this equation would be your doubles plus 1. But we're going to use the make a 10 strategy. Okay, so what does my 8 need to make a 10? My 8, if I used my fingers, my 8 needs 2 more. Okay, so I'm going to break apart and decompose my 9 to a 2 and a 7 because I know 2 plus 7 makes 9. My 8 and my 2 together makes a 10, but I still have to add my 7. My 10 plus 7 equals 17 because that's a friendly 10 plus fact. So if 10 plus 7 makes 17, then 8 plus 9 makes 17 as well. So I can write my equal expressions here. I could say 8 plus 9 equals 10 plus 7, or I can write 10 plus 7 equals 8 plus 9 because they both equal the same amount, which is 17, and they are equal. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of an added instruction that you can use to go along with that lesson, and then you could always make more problems on a scratch piece of paper for your child to use the make a 10 strategy. Now, a lot of times parents will say, well, I didn't learn the make a 10 strategy, and that's okay. Maybe you haven't. But what I tell my kids in the classroom is it's important for you to know a lot of different strategies, and because that helps you to be a better problem solver. For example, last year when the hurricane hit, and we tried to leave our home and go to get supplies or to go to check on friends, we would go one way and that way may be blocked. So we had to go a different way. So it's important that when you're able to add, that you're able to use a lot of different strategies because it helps you to be a better mathematician. It helps you to be a better problem solver. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and I hope to look forward to you soon. Thank you.